Good afternoon, it's Lindsay. It is, am I recording? Okay. Yeah, it's Friday, January 24th, 2025, and I wanted to do a video here about this stuff that's going on. Okay, so the last recordings I've done have just been voice recordings. I haven't wanted to, I've just been, sometimes I don't really like to show myself on camera with this kind of a narcissistic shit that's going on. But basically, now what's going on is that person, that narcissist who I've talked about before, has been hoovering me. And what that's called, it's basically, I guess what I've read about or researched in some of these videos that I watch about this kind of abuse, because you're so overwhelmed with it. It comes at you in all directions and you don't even know what to do because they're bombarding you with so much stuff at once, right, to overwhelm your senses. And it gets to the point where you're just like, there's only so much a person can do. But this is all done intentionally. When you're a targeted individual, once you start to expose these secret organizations, these societies, like what I've done, talking about the Freemasons, talking about the fucking drug dealing stuff that's been going on at that house over there, that's all vacant now, basically, except that dumbass still shows up on his motorcycle sometimes just to cause me to react, And so all the things that they're doing to me at once are clearly to target me and to get me to shut up, because I can guarantee you that I'm under some very bizarre yet very blatantly obvious harassment and surveillance, and I am not exaggerating. Okay, number one, I had been calling out that narcissist for his abuse of me, exploitation, sexual exploitation of me, the way he was using coercive abuse to take advantage of my vulnerabilities, coming into my house, violating my boundaries, breaking my furniture, tainting my thing, just harassing me. Even though I had told him, no more, I don't want to see you anymore, it's over, leave me alone. And he kept calling, and I'd block him, he'd call more, he'd come knocking on my door or window. And this is all done to make me the target here of the abuse, to look crazy and delusional and desperate, like I'm the one making this stuff up so that I can get attention. What I'm trying to do is validate myself, and I guess that, maybe I do need outside validation for legal purposes, because I don't have an attorney. That probate case is pretty much over with. I got fucked out of my inheritance, okay, by that half-sibling narcissist living in Malibu. His house, I guess, didn't fucking burn down, but whatever. Nobody got hurt in that situation as far as his family. Which, good. I'm glad they did it. I don't want anything horrible like that to happen to them. But I don't like being lied to. I don't wish these people... I just know that karma happens, okay? What goes around comes around. When you fuck with somebody and lie to them like they've done to me, my own mother, this half-sibling, and manipulated me and exploited me to the extent that they have, I suppose that's what karma can do to people. Maybe, things can happen, but whatever. I don't know, but I know that I've gone through enough. I know that I'm just somebody who speaks the truth, and I know that I have a lot of enemies. Lots of people dislike me here in San Antonio and just in general, and I've gotten quite accustomed to that. And honestly, when you are somebody who is an individual who's outspoken and you speak the truth and you don't really, you're kind of in your own world because you've been labeled as mentally ill anyway, what the fuck does it matter? Because any people who come into your life, for the most part, are going to be there as either a plant set into your life by somebody or just somebody who's going to exploit you, okay? Exploit your vulnerabilities like what they've done to me. If you're quote unquote diagnosed as mentally ill, especially, or whatever fucking DSM bullshit diagnosis they're gonna come up with to label you and categorize you if you don't fit in to the little box that they want you to, then they're gonna do this kind of shit, okay? And I keep saying okay, I'm sorry, I'm just kind of I'm talking really fast because I do a lot of driving every day. A lot of driving on the freeway, okay? And there's a lot of shit. Pardon me, it's just like I'm still, I so much fucking driving on the freeways here, and there's always crap going on where people are just stopping in the middle of the lane for no reason or slowing down, rubbernecking, and it's like an adrenaline. Sometimes I get this weird kind of adrenaline rush because by the time I get to the gym, I don't get there as early anymore because it's so fucking dark outside and there's fucking ice half the time in the mornings on my car or whatever. So I go a little bit later, and plus I need the extra 20 minutes of sleep because I usually wake up at fucking 3 a.m. anyway or 4 and fuck around with my routine, and it takes forever. So I can't always do that. And so now I go to a different part of town to the gym. I don't go to that one in the whatever fucking Highway 78 because I talked about how I was being gang stalked and harassed by blacks, negroids, and I'll say it because that's exactly the fucking shit that they did to me. Okay, that's what they're doing to me intentionally, to mess with me, to bully me, to scapegoat me and mock me. And I got so tired of being bullied by not just them but other people because they had talked to me, and once they get you to talk, they start gathering information about you so they can use it against you at some point. I had enough people there asking me questions like, how long do you work out and what, how do you do, shit. It's like but I had been there for a good, almost 2 years, I guess, more or less. Not quite, but yeah, it had been a long time since I'd been going there. Maybe almost 2 years at that location, almost exclusively. So I was like, fuck this. When you get a feeling that you need to get out of a place, like you just can't do it anymore, that's what happened. I had just had enough. And I'm the type of person who, when that shit starts happening, I get the fuck out. I don't sit around and wait for it to blow up anymore. I just go. I leave. I just go. Okay? And I don't go back usually. Because of the shit that they, like I said, they try to drive you out. They are trying so hard with me at these gyms, mostly to get me out of there, depending on what gym it is, because there are certain, they have their own personalities and whatnot, and they will try really hard. If certain people don't like you or you upset somebody or whatever, they will try to get you out of there by doing little stupid shit to set you up or entrap you, using the government or fucking undercover cops or people like that to surveil you. It's constant surveillance with me. Constant fucking surveillance. And they ought to know by now you can't fuck with me like that because I can blow your fucking covers. I can feel, I can sense when somebody is monitoring me. It's like they're so obvious about it. And so I basically, they were doing that to me at that Highway 78 gym with certain blacks. I can name their names. One of them was Charles, was his name. This other woman named, this black woman named, from Chicago, she said. She was in the military. What was her name? I don't even remember her name. Some other black woman. They are clearly sent by the government, probably the fucking FBI, whatever, police, to monitor me, okay, to recruit me or whatever the fuck it is they were doing, but they were watching me and keeping tabs on me. And they'll be really nice, but it's all orchestrated. It's not genuine. It's not a genuine kind of friendly where they're, it's all very, you can feel the weird vibes around people when they're not genuine, okay? Because I am very transparent. Maybe my appearance changes a little bit from here or there or whatever, big fucking deal. This is who I am, But because people change. People's looks change, people's hair, people's body, whatever. That's part of life, especially as you get older. So I'm under constant scrutiny by people just obsessed with little changes that I make in my life, little subtle things that are different, and they start picking on me and nitpicking me about that shit to the point that it becomes so fucking horribly, abusive. And so that fucking narcissist asshole who I think, kept coming back into my, all that shit, and I'd let him back in, and only to, I'm telling you now, when you let And here I'm jumping from the topic, but now let's talk more about narcissistic abuse, okay? Because it's all connected. Narcissistic abuse, government people, police, the fucking military, they are the most narcissistic people out there. Salesmen, this guy was supposedly a fucking salesman. Talk about a narcissist control freak, a manipulative, arrogant person. The most arrogant asshole I've ever been around in my life, just about. Talk about being under stress and feeling anxious when you're around these people. So the pressure and the expectations and the pushy and the push-pull dynamic and the grandiose expectations that they have and the pressure they put on people is just unbelievably unrealistic and just horrible, the way they're so demanding. And I know that people probably understand what I'm talking about if you've been in an abusive, sexually exploitative situation or harassed or whatever, and then they come back and they hoover, they do a reverse hoover, they do a gaslight, they do all these breadcrumbing, which is basically when they're throwing out little bits and pieces of affection or whatever to try to lure you back in, but it's very, like little breadcrumbing. Look that up if you're a survivor or current victim of narcissistic abuse. Look up breadcrumbing, look up gaslighting, look up hoovering, look up reverse hoovering, look up discard, look up reverse discard. These are all important, this is all important terminology, vernacular, that a person who's a survivor of narcissistic abuse, as well as a targeted, maybe you're also a targeted individual by the government like I am, it's all important. It's very important to know these vocabulary words it's for your own survival, because it's what has saved me. If I wouldn't have known about this stuff, had I not started educating myself every day for hours about, number one, targeted individuals, gang stalking, covert harassment, surveillance, all this shit, if I would never have educated myself about this stuff, I would be so fucking lost. Like most people out there who have no fucking idea about government surveillance, about gang stalking, or so they say they don't, because most people don't. You'll notice that most people don't really pay much attention to what the fuck is going on around them. They just are looking forward right at the TV or right in front of them. They're not very observant, and they don't seem to have the skills of critical thinking or observation skills, I've noticed, or the ability to analyze things. A lot of people don't. There are people who do. Yes, but most people, you'll notice that they just are very kind of hive-minded. They don't really question anything. They don't want to. They just like to do things as they're told because they don't want to rock the boat, or they don't want to, they just want to be told what to do. Like, order followers. They don't question anything. They don't question the government. They don't question anything because they don't care. I am passionate about the truth. And this is what has gotten me into a lot of fucking trouble over the years, is my being very direct and honest about who I am, about what I've gone through, about people who've come into my life, their names, because I don't have anything to hide. I am speaking the truth about my story and my situation because I feel that it's the only way for me to cope in this fucked up society filled with narcissistic people, filled with grandiose expectations of be this, do that, have this amount of money, live here, dress that way. It's horrible. Out in the world, in a big city, San Antonio is not a huge city, but it's a big enough fucking city, and I've been around enough of the areas to know what I'm talking about. I've been in all directions of the city for the most part and spent enough time in the past 10 years here in San Antonio to get my feel for what different areas, the east side, the west side, the south, the north, a little bit in the north, not so much as far as like the gym goes. And no, I don't really go to the gym in the north side of town. But I'm telling you, different directions have different, it's all different depending on what, obviously this is common sense, depending on what part of the city you're in. I happen to live in the east side of San Antonio, okay? Not the far east side of San Antonio, which is kind of like Shirts and Converse and all that when you're basically on I-10 heading east as if you're going to Houston. No, I was going to the gym out that way on fucking Highway 78, way out the fucking Converse, whatever, but no, Highway 78, which was really fucking far away, I'm telling you. It was real far away. And I'm like, whoa, I was going there every single day, literally like a lot of driving. I still do a lot of driving, but it seems like it's for whatever reason, I feel like I get to where I'm going a little bit faster than what I used to do, going into a whole different city altogether, basically. And it's very different out there. It was like being out in the fucking country, and I was getting real tired of it because I moved, number one, I moved to San Antonio to get the fuck away from Houston. I didn't exactly want to, it was all not exactly as I planned it. It happened more rapidly than I thought it would, but still, the intentions were to get out of Houston. Houston was too overwhelming, too big, too much of like a big fucking overgrown suburb, okay, for the most part, except little areas like Montrose and whatnot that are not like a big suburb. But mostly Houston is like a big suburb now, you know, from what I've heard. I haven't been back in a long time, but it's like a big overgrown, you know, overpopulated suburb. So going out to that gym and I keep pointing, I'm sorry, that's part of my habit that I do that. But part of that was like, you know, it's like, I was like, this is reminding me too much of just like, I may as well just fucking drive all the way to Houston then. You know, in another hour and a half or hour, I'll be in Houston. So why don't I just drive all the way to fucking Houston every day, I was thinking. It got to the point where I was so fucking tired of that area. It was just like a big suburb. I'm just sick of it. Sick of the scenery, sick of the people, sick of everything. I was like, I want to be more in San Antonio. I'm in San Antonio. I don't want to go to another suburb, whatever. I live in San Antonio. So I want to go explore other directions. And I'm glad that I did. I'm not saying it's any better. I don't expect anything to be any better in my life as a targeted person. I have optimism and I do the best I can. But I'm telling you that for my own benefit, for my own well-being, I feel that I made the right decision by switching gyms and not going to that area anymore, just for my own sanity. Okay, you have to change things. It's hard to make changes, and I know because I have to do it a lot, to adjust to new environments and new people and all these weird things on a constant, because most people are accustomed to going to the same job, the same place, the same people. And me, I'm kind of all over the place, I feel like, until I get, you know, it gets kind of, after a while, it gets very, it's very exhausting, physically and mentally exhausting, because it's always like, you know, it's weird, it can be strange, but, you know, the gym is my passion, and so I have to do what I have to do, and they're always trying to get me to not do what I like to do. And I like doing that. I like going to the gym. I'm not saying that I'm going to continue to keep going there for who knows much how longer I'll be able to do that, because it's, you know, but I have to go to a gym, and it's not easy to find one that I like or that I feel comfortable in. And at this particular place, the ones that I go to now, I feel more comfortable, which is good for me, for my own health. And for my well-being. I feel I deserve that in life, okay? I put a lot of effort into this every day. It's not, you know, it's I see it as my going to a job. That's how seriously I treat it. And so I put a lot of effort into that. And most people think that's stupid. You're crazy. Why do you do that? What a waste of time. You know what? You can fucking think the whatever the fuck you want, but some of you go to your fucking jobs and you're miserable and you don't go to the gym at all, or you don't do shit, but you're sitting here picking on me because I don't go to some sales job that I fucking hate, or some fucking job sitting in a fucking office. You know, maybe I like what I'm doing. I'm challenging myself, and I set goals that I challenge myself, and I enjoy it. I do, and that's my prerogative, not some fucking stranger gang stalking me or doing some shit. It's none of your fucking business. I don't go around fucking stalking you and asking you fucking questions, do I? No. It's none of my fucking business. I might not like you, and I might not like what you do, but I'm not going to go up to you at the fucking gym and start fucking stalking you and harassing you if I don't know you, or even if I did know you, unless I have a good reason. And if it's someone you know fucking with you, like that asshole who's been fucking with me, gaslighting me and abusing me psychologically, yeah, I'll talk about it. And yeah, I'll try to get help. Because I am tired of that. He, for example, going back to that asshole abuser, treats me like I'm a commodity, like an object he can control, like he owns me, like I'm a business, like I'm a corporation or something. It's like, what the fuck? Who do you think you are? And why are you trying to control my life, my money, my body, everything? This is what that fucking asshole was doing to me. Giving me these fucking clothes that I don't like, knowing that I don't wear white. I don't wear white, the jacket, or a fucking lingerie like that. I mean, it's just tacky shit meant to fuck with my mind. Or stuff like tacky lingerie, tacky perfume that's like, shit that's like, what? This is stuff you probably give to a fucking somebody like a whore that you go spend a night with at some fucking motel, I don't know, but it was very weird. It's like he give me these gifts that are like recycled gifts that he probably had wanted to get, that he has in his car, just that he gives to people, random people. There's something weird about that. This guy is sick, mentally sick. And so, I've been talking about it because he's doing all the typical things of what a narcissistic psychopath, control, sex addict, whatever does to a victim to keep you under their control, whatever, until you break away. And like I said, I had to change my fucking number. And then these people will go to the extreme to ruin your life, to smear your name, smear campaign, doing everything. And you know what? Sometimes you have to get even with them. Sometimes you have to give them a dosage of their own medicine when they really do that to you and start interfering with every aspect of your life, when it's like it's some kind of a contract that I signed with him, which I fucking never did. It's like sometimes you have to report it to some kind of to the authorities or something. I don't know, because they're not going to leave you alone, and they're involved with like drug shit and drug dealing and all kinds of weird shady stuff. I know that this guy's involved with. I know he is. I can tell. He's a total fucking con man, or whatever, liar. So I was dealing with that shit, and then he just like a predator, like being around a pedophile or predator, like he's obsessed with like tiny little things and obsessed with body size and shit like that. What are you, a fucking pedophile, dude? Or what's your problem? Touching me all the time, like. It got to the point where I was just disgusted. So I literally, and then he still, yesterday, here's what happened. I went to the store yesterday. He came here yesterday, was knocking on my fucking window, and I said, go away. I don't want to see you anymore. It's over. Please, leave me alone. Stop trying to manipulate me. I've made up my mind a long time ago. Stop it. Stop doing this hoovering, this crap that you're doing to try to make it look like this reverse hoovering, reverse discard shit. No, I see all his little fucking tactics to make himself feel better about the fact that I'm the one who fucking put a stop to all this shit. He's addicted to something that I was able to provide for him, and that's the bottom line. When it comes to narcissists, this guy may as well be a fucking witch or some kind of a demon. I don't know what. He's something is not right about him. He's very evil. And it's like evil, like every time he would be around me or leave my house, I felt like I had to do a cleansing, or like I had to go take a bath for an hour, or just feeling dirty. They make you feel dirty. There's something about them that their energy rubs off on you, and you feel dirty and confused and overwhelmed and sick, like physically or mentally sick. And it's like they're casting... It's as if they're doing some kind of witchcraft, and I wouldn't put it past him. He's a fucking Mexican. Sorry, a Chicano. He's got his mother's, there's something, I don't know. There's something not right about it, that I could feel just bad, like bad energy. Bad. And plus, God, and manipulative, and trying to copy me and mirror me, and then mocking me and exploiting me. Disgusting kind of things that they do to try to make you feel it's all fake. Like everything, it's all, they're not genuine people. They're not transparent. They don't speak the truth. in me, I speak the truth. I might, I can't help it. That's what I do. I speak my mind. I can't put on a mask. I can't put on a front around people. I just can't do it. I don't know how to do that. I don't enjoy people who are fake and where, I don't get it. I don't understand that kind of thing where they're basically like scripted, like they act like they're like, you know what? I just to prove this person that I'm not making this stuff up. Let me because I have to document this. I'm gonna listen to this voicemail that he left me. This is a way that they make you look stupid, to make it look like you're the one who's crazy. Oh, you're just having a bad day, or you don't mean what you say. This is a shit that narcissistic people will do to abuse victims. For example, listen to this message that after everything that happened yesterday, I told him to go away, don't ever come here, leave me alone, it's over, I want to move on. And plus, these people are fucking, they're with other people anyway. It's just to get your reaction. But another thing is I went to the store yesterday. I went to H-E-B, and I swear to God, as I was coming out of the store, first I went to the UPS thing to return something, okay? And I listened to my phone, and there's a message from him saying, oh, why did you tell me to leave? I really wanted to talk to you. I really miss you. I need you. I wanted to see you. Why are you doing this to me? He left me a message. I delete all the fucking messages, though. I listen to them and then delete them because I don't want his voice. I don't want it on my phone. It's like I listen to it and I fucking delete it. I shouldn't even listen to the messages because I have him blocked, but he's still able to leave me voicemails, and I guess I'm probably going to have to change my phone number for a third time. Okay? After you have you should not go back to these people. My warning, I guess what I'm trying is don't keep letting them back in. When it's over, it's over. Don't make the mistake that I have by letting them, when they hoover you or do this reverse discard shit, don't keep letting them back in because it is only for them to get revenge. Okay? And then he had the audacity when I stupidly enough let him back in my house like a week ago or whatever, and he gave me those tacky gifts like that I was like, I said, I don't want these things. Take them back, please. And he's insistent. He's like, no. I want to see you in that lingerie. I want to see you in lace. I'm like, I don't wear that kind of stuff. And I was like, thank you, but no thank you. Please take the gifts back. And he would not. He wouldn't do it. Okay? He wouldn't, so I was stuck with it, and I don't have it anymore. I got rid of it, but you see what they do? It's because they want to leave their marks, like their dog, like they treat you like a dog. Number one, you're a pet to them. They treat you like that, like an animal, like you're a pet, a slave. But they want to leave their mark, like a dog pissing on the rug. They want to make sure that you have to remember them, so they'll leave little things behind your house to make sure that you know what I mean, to remind you. And so you should not have photos of these people. You should get rid of photos of them. Don't save anything that they give you. Get rid of it. Give it away. Throw it away, whatever. Because it's all meant to trigger you. It's all meant to emotionally get you to react and trigger you when they do that. It's all very intentional and calculated what they do. So don't fall for it. Don't keep things. Don't have photos of them. And I don't have any photos of this guy. Never once did we even take a picture together, thank God. Because when you have a picture of them, or they have a picture of you, you don't know what they're doing with that photo. And I remember one time, he kept asking me if he could take my picture. One time he asked me if he could film me naked, or take a picture of me naked. And I was like, no, of course not. No, you can't do that. I don't do that. He was begging me to let him take a picture of me naked, like with lingerie in my room. I'm like, no way. God knows these people probably film stuff. I wouldn't put it, I have no idea. He probably is into so much shit that I don't even want to know about, okay? But I'm just saying, I would not, I was like, no way. No, you're not going to do that. But he was trying to. And then one time he took a picture of me and I was sitting down here and I put like a head shawl thing on, like kind of like what Middle Eastern or Muslim women wear when they're covering their hair or face halfway kind of thing. Or I had it over something that I kind of put on just almost as a joke, whatever, because I'm kind of modest anyway. And he took a picture of me, and that's the only picture that I know that he's ever taken of me. And I don't know what he did with that or what he's doing with that, but it's like, oh my God, just to think that this creepy weirdo has a picture of me in his phone or something. I don't even like, it's like, it makes me sick because he's probably, they do witchcraft. He's involved, this guy's involved with some dark, crap, demonic shit, some weird stuff. I know he is, and I don't trust him at all. He's weird. He's got a very dark side about him that he tries to hide, but I know him. I've seen it, and I've seen him. It's like, ugh. But, so I went to the store, H-E-B, and first I went to the UPS thing, and as I'm leaving the UPS, I go back to my car to get something, and I check my phone because I see that I have a message on my phone. I check and it's him saying, why did you do that to me? Because he had been to the house before, and I had said, get away, go away. Because it's like they stalk you. They'll start stalking you when you reject them and tell them no. They'll stalk you. And I was like, and he's like, why did you do that? I really wanted to see you. I miss you. And he'll say things to me like, only you can satisfy me. I need you, baby. I miss your touch. Shit like that. Like, and it's like, don't fucking call me baby. I said over and over again, do not call me baby. And, but these people are so disrespectful and they violate your boundaries. Is very disgusting and perverse and sexist. They don't respect you, and this guy had no respect for me the whole time. But he so I go into the store, right? I go into H-E-B and I notice these two people walking around following me that looked like they're kind of following me. A tall blonde woman and a tall blonde guy. And they looked like they were like FBI agents or cops or something. They kind of, it's almost like they had a uniform on, but I'm not sure. But to me, they looked like FBI agents for sure, or some kind of police or something. And they were kind of following me around because as soon as I was leaving there, they were. And I didn't feel intimidated or anything, but I could see that they were kind of keeping an eye, doing something like watching me, but in a kind of more subtle way. But they were moving really fast, walking really fast, and they were FBI. I could tell that they were government agents of some kind, FBI, police, something. I could tell. I could just see from the way they were behaving, from the way they fought. As soon as I walk in the store, they're right behind me, and I'm leaving the store, and once again, they're right behind me. Okay? So I was like, oh, okay. And then I'm walking to my car, and I pass by a car that's parked right out front, basically, kind of catty corner to the exit of the store, like whatever. I don't know. And I look and I'm like, shit, that's this guy, Luis. It was his car, his Ford Fusion. He was sitting there in the car, just sitting there watching. He had on sunglasses, and I know it was him. He had on some kind of a jacket, and I was like, holy shit, he's stalking me. I know it was him because he was watching me, but trying to be really nonchalant about it. And he was stalking me in the parking lot at the store as I was leaving. I'm like, oh my God, now he's stalking me? Okay, great. He's stalking me. Okay. And then I get other messages yesterday from him. Please unblock me. I really need to talk to you. And then so I called him back or unblocked him briefly or something, and he said something like, I called him back, right? And then he didn't answer. And then he calls back, leaving me a message. Sorry, I was in the shower. And then again later on, he calls me and he says, I had to go back to work. At like 7:30, he calls me saying he had to go back to work. Supposedly on his day off, he had to go back to Saks Fifth Avenue in the jewelry department. So I called him just to fuck with him because he's always bothering me and leaving me fucking messages even though I have him blocked. So I called him at like 7:30 last night, or 7:15. And I'm like, oh, so you're at work? He's like, yeah, I had to come back to the jewelry department. I'm like, yeah, right, whatever, liar. I just went off on him. I was like, you're a fucking liar, dude. Whatever. You're full of shit. Because it's a lie. Everything they say is a lie. This is what they do. And I know that he was lying to me, but I'm just saying that's proof that he's just trying to fuck with me and gaslight me to get me to react. And I was like, I said, fuck you, don't call me again, leave me alone. And I hung up on him. And that was last night. And so then today I get a message. Listen to this.
Please enter your password. You have 2 new voice messages and 2 saved messages. New message.
Hey, Lindsay, just calling you back. It's
That's my friend
2:26.
Lauren.
Message
Someone else.
saved. New message.
Hey, Lindsay, I just saw your message on.
Message
No,
saved.
listen.
Saved message.
Hey Lindsay, this is Lewis. Just want to see what's going on with you. I stopped by your house yesterday. I left because he was sounding really upset. So I don't know what it is. You know, you get upset because I'm at your house and I bother you. Are you upset because I'm working? Are you upset because I don't answer your
Because you're a
phone?
fucking
I don't answer
liar
my phone?
and a
I mean,
narcissist.
I really don't know what's going on, so I really want to know. I mean, I care about you very much. I mean, you act like you don't care, but then you get jealous. So I don't know what's going on. So just please let me know. Because I care about you too, Lindsay, very, very much. So I want to see you. Okay? So just please let me know what's going on. Call me or text me. Bye.
No,
To replay this message, press 1. To delete, press 7. To save, press 9. For more options, press 6. To replay this message, press 1. To forward this message, press 2. To send a reply, press 3. To hear the message header information, press 5. To delete, from
Lewis Valdez.
received today at 11:55 a.m.
okay, so that was received today. Today is the January 24th, 2025, Friday. So I'm like, and that's all that shit that I was just talking about happened yesterday when I told him to fuck off and all that. When he came over here causing a scene. They want to cause a scene. They want to get you to react so that it looks like a fucking scene, so that the fucking neighbors come out and all this shit. And I told him that next time you fucking come here, I'm calling the fucking police, so don't fuck with me. I told him that. I've warned him over and over again. If you keep coming to my house, harassing me and bothering me, I'm going to call the fucking police, or I'm going to the domestic violence place to report your ass. And I've told him that. And he still calls me. He still comes over to bother me. Okay? And me fucking letting him in the house like that, like an idiot, because he won't go away. And it's like, what can you do? What more is a person supposed to do? What is his obsession with me and wanting to control my life? I don't quite understand it, because I've never had this problem before to this extent like this. I haven't ever had anything like this happen to me like this, ever. I have had some weird relationships where people, don't want, they don't want to let you go. They try to get back with you. But this guy is like obsessed with destroying my life and destroying my credibility, destroying my finances, my health, my personality, everything. What I get, part of what I'm trying to say is, when you know that the person you are involved with, or that you were involved with, is a narcissist or has traits that are very narcissistic and psychopathic, controlling and whatnot, and manipulative, that tells you right there that there's something wrong. It should tell you. It should be a warning sign that this is not good, that this relationship or situation or whatever it is not right. Okay, there's something not good about it. And you should listen to those instincts. You should pay attention, because this man, I've talked about it before, was sent into my life by somebody I suspect to fuck with me, about to make me look mentally ill, to steal my inheritance, or to discredit me. And I do believe that that's all the coordinated shit, all the synchronicities, the fact that he contacted me right during that probate stuff, and he was so interested in my finances, all the little dots connect to his being somebody who he's not, or saying that he's somebody who he's not. Okay, I know I can figure stuff out. I might not be correct on everything that I assume, obviously, but I can clearly put pieces together to see that there's something that isn't right, that something does not make sense, that something is very wrong about this, and toxic, because it becomes toxic. So anyway, that's that. Let's just put that aside and let me go on to a different topic. I guess I sound kind of frazzled, and I kind of crazy. So it just weird stuff. I go through weird things every single day, like weird street theater stuff every day. Now that these drug dealers aren't there anymore at that house, thank God that's over with, because that was a big putting up with that shit and all that stress and chaos all the time. But so now it's just mostly driving and shit, all the construction. There's so much stuff going on, so much traffic out there now. But and the weather's been cold. It's been really cold. It gets hot. It's just horrible. I don't like the cold weather. I'm not a cold weather person. But so then here's something else that happened yesterday. Speaking of more weird stuff, I get these emails. I get an email from this I have a family tree DNA thing, right? I did a long time ago. I put, it's called Family Tree DNA, is it? Or Ancestry.com. I did one with Family Tree DNA a long time ago. But Ancestry.com, where you send a saliva thing and they do your DNA matching. I did that years ago, right? And so whatever, they match you with people and relatives and distant relatives and first cousins, second cousins, third, all that shit. Well, there's also an area of that website of Ancestry.com where you can do like a family tree thing and then really dig into your past and find like all your like family tree relatives and all this kind of stuff and documents and all that kind of thing, which is really interesting when you can really find like records, birth records, death records, military records, marriage certificates, all that kind of stuff. It's all there in Ancestry.com if you're a paid member. I'm not a paid member, so I don't have access to all that stuff, but somebody has put information on me without my consent. I suspect it was my mother, or somebody did like a tree that I'm part of, and they put a picture of me there from like when I was in high school, or some stupid fucking picture that looks like I'm about 12 years old. Like, oh my God, get that thing off of there. And then they keep on, and every once in a while I'll get an email saying, you have a hint about your father, or you have a DNA hint about your mother, or whatever. So I'll log on, and I'm like, okay, what's the hint? And so I got one of these emails yesterday saying, you have a hint about your father. This was yesterday on Thursday. And so I logged on to Ancestry.com and looked at my profile, and it's got the tree. I was looking at the tree thing. It's got Kenny Baldwin as my mother. It has Ben Armistead Baldwin Jr. as my father on this family tree thing on Ancestry.com. Okay? And so they'll send these little hints every once in a while. And so I was like, well, what's the fucking hint? I'm looking at it, and I was like, I don't see anything different. What's going on? I'm looking, I'm like, okay, it looks nothing's different from when I logged on several weeks ago, when I got another hint about my mother or something that they sent me that I actually ignored. Half the time I'm just like, I don't really care anymore. I don't even consider these people my mother. I mean, she sure as a fuck doesn't act like a mother. And my father, Ben, oh really, he's my father? The negligent Ben Baldwin died from liver alcoholism in 2003 or 4. Yeah, my father was quite the father, quite the hero, Yeah, daddy's little girl. So yeah, I forgive him, but he was a fuck up. He was a fucking alcoholic. Didn't give a shit. Was never much in the picture, hardly, when I was growing up. Well, he was, but he was a narcissist. So what can you expect? He tried. He did go to my high school graduation at Lamar High School in Houston, at least. He did, because I have a picture of that. He did go to my high school graduation, shockingly enough. But, so I'm looking, I don't see anything different on my Ancestry.com website or whatever. I'm like, what hint? And then I look again, and I see that it says that Lindsey Baldwin and my address is in Longview, Texas. It says something about Longview, Texas. And I'm like, what the fuck? Longview, Texas. And I'm like, well, it's like, well, I don't live in Longview, Texas. I've never lived in Longview, Texas. And I'm thinking, well, the only person I know of who lived in Longview, Texas was that Bobby White of White Security. He and his wife, Linda White, of White Security lived in Longview, Texas. And he's the one who sent me to the fucking Longview Police Department to do fingerprints for whatever fucking reason, when I supposedly was going to be a partner in business of White Security. And this was in 2009 or whatever the fuck year it was, when I did that Penn Foster private investigation course and he recruited me on my student email. But that was a long time ago. That was like 2009, I think. Yeah. But that's the only person I know of in Longview, and I'm like, Longview, Texas? It had me as my address and I'm like, no. And that was a hint. That's the only thing that was different that had been added to my familyancestry.com profile on the family tree, was something about Longview, Texas. And I got so fucking frustrated with the gaslighting and all this fucking manipulative shit that I'm going through that I just deleted my profile on there. I deleted the whole fucking thing. It's like, you know what? This is fucked up. This is clearly somebody is messing with me and doing this to mess with me, so I deleted it. I just deleted the whole thing. I didn't delete all the stuff about who they match you with, your relatives and whatnot, but I deleted that whole thing about the family tree fucking shit. That I deleted my profile. So whoever did that, whoever was behind that, this Longview thing, that I have a hint about my father, and then this part about Longview, what's that about, and who's behind that? You know, that's just another example of this shit that I go through with this being targeted. So I had to talk about that because I thought that was really fucked up. And that's it.